And it's because he's so informed. If you see him, has anybody seen him on TV? I've seen him. I've seen him on TV. But he doesn't get into this. I saw him the last time I saw him. They ain't asking him deep questions. They don't want him to get loose. I believe, and I've heard this, that they limit what you can say when you have this kind of information. They don't want to get... Glenn Beck will say what he wants to say, but they don't do that on NBC or MSNBC or some of these reputable networks. I use that term loosely. But anyway, what he says, in the future jihad, he's talking about the war against America, what they've got planned for America, and he talks about the something called Al-Fatah. Let me read this about Al-Fatah, because this has to do with us in America. The Al-Fatah. This young girl that was here this morning with Malcolm. She is a Kurd from Kurdistan. Kurdistan is up here in northern. Up here, it's don't have boundary lines, but it's in northern Iran, northern Iraq, over here in Turkey, in this area. And they do have a government, but they don't have boundary lines. She said to me a week ago Friday night at the house, she said, "You're the only man I've ever heard in America that you know the phrases, the terminology. You're saying things that are going on in the Middle East, and you actually use the terms and you spell the words right. You can buy it down here at Books A Million or at Barnes & Noble." And she was saying, "I never heard anybody talk like you in America." She said, "I listen to people," and she said, "You're saying it the way it actually is over there." We have the information. People are frightened of it. Ask her when she comes, and she'll repeat it to you. She volunteered that to me one night. She said, "Never heard a man talk like you, because you're using the terms, the phrases, that what is actually going on over there." Now, but he's talking about a jihad and what it is and what it means, but he goes into this thing goes into linguistics on jihad, and then he goes into this Al-Fatah. And he says there is to be no reversal of the geography of the Islamic State. Do you realize this is in their Al-Fatah? Do you realize what that means? That means everywhere that they expand to, it is against their holy law to be any reversal in the Islamic State. That means they started this Al-Fatah back in the 6th century. And Mr. I didn't make this up. He tells you all about it in Future Jihad, when they started the Al-Fatah. And he says there is to be no reversal of the geography of the Islamic State. Well, here you are in the 6th century, and in the Islamic State, they're spreading their form of manifest destiny. And they get down here to 1517, and they're living in the land of Palestine, and later on that's renamed to Israel. But all the time, the Arab people are living there. Over 90% of the people living in what we call Israel today, it was Palestine even in the 40s when I was a little boy. They didn't rename it Israel until 1948. In 1517, the Ottoman Turks took this land, and it was ruled by Ottoman Turks, and these are Arabs, and most of the people in the land were Arab Palestinians. They kept it for 400 years until 1917, when that land was liberated by General Allenby of the British forces. Y'all heard me say this before, but I want to show you how serious this is.